I have a confession to make. I'm moving from Montreal to Toronto in 2 weeks. And let me tell you something that's going to sound crazy. I have not secured housing yet, and it's a tough market, but I'm doing it anyway. Why? Because for years I squashed my own wants and needs until I practically disappeared. I became invisible in my own life until little by little I started to do the work again, to find myself again through journaling, through quiet moments with spirit, and asking some big questions, and a few really good therapists, to be honest. But one day, while I was sitting by these rushing rapids near my house, and I dropped into this meditation, and I went deep that day. And the thought hit me hard. Remember how you were supposed to retire in Ontario? I mean, it had always been my plan. And I had that conversation with my former husband before we got married, and he was totally cool with it until the ring went on. And then he decided that I was happy enough here. He didn't want to talk about it. And I was pretty much already disappeared by then. But that day by the water, it all came rushing back like those rapids right beside me, loud, clear, impossible to ignore. That it's time to get back to the work that I was meant to do. I am meant to be speaking from the stage and not hiding in Zoom rooms one-on-one anymore. So I'm going where there's a large English market to help, and that happens to be the Toronto area. So I started planning, and at first I was really scared. I mean, really, I felt small. I felt like, oh, can I really do this? I'd heard other people's concerns as disapproval, like I was making some crazy mistake. But the truth is, that was either just their fear, or maybe their comments were triggering old false beliefs I carried around too long just to keep the peace. And once I started tapping back into my confident self, the one that had gone quiet for such a long time, I remembered who I am. And I wrote out my notice to my landlord after holding on to it for a week. I finally gave it to him. I was just making sure. And if people do want to see me, like if that's their concern, they can hop on a train. I'll put the kettle on. This decision comes from reconnecting to spirit. You might have heard that God is actually an acronym for good, orderly direction. I happen to believe that's real. That I haven't lost my mind. I've just found my courage again. And here's what I've learned about that fluttery feeling in your stomach. It's not always fear. Sometimes that's just excitement that hasn't quite learned how to fly yet. You have to teach those butterflies to fly in formation, because neither of us should be putting ourselves last. It's time to step into our confident self, to fly into our purpose, but with a plan and a backup plan. But I do want to leave you with this. It's time to go from invisible to invincible and embrace life fully. It's not too late. No more playing small for the comfort and pleasure of other people. So tell me, what is something that you've done that is totally crazy or totally surprised everyone around you, even yourself maybe? Share it so we can celebrate your courage too.